Good morning everyone. Okay, let's start today's topic of food chain. We'll continue from the previous class. Okay, we will recall what is food chain and then proceed along with it. So what is food chain, children? We already covered this. Food chain is the link between plants and animals for the sake of food. It means that there is a relationship between the plants and animals based on their food habits. So what does it explain? Food chain always explains the relationship between the plants and animals based on their food habits. It tells us the animal on which it depends, that is one organism depends on other organism, the interdependence of the diverse organisms in nature. So we can say that food chain explains the interdependence of diverse organisms in nature. Commonly here you see the board, children, the picture over here where you can see the energy is transferred from one organism to other, mainly from the main source of energy which is sun. Is it clear? The solar energy is being taken or used up by the plants to prepare their food. Is it clear? So here the plants are producers where they produce their own food. That means you know that the plants prepare their own food by taking the carbon dioxide from the air, water and mineral salts from the soil, and that is the water. This is the groundwater. It takes from the soil completely. The roots go beyond the ground level, and the water that is present in the ground level is being used up by the plants. Plants absorb the water that is present in the ground level through the roots that penetrate deeper into the soil and take the water from the ground, and it uses the carbon dioxide that is present in the atmosphere, that is air, uses the sunlight, uses the light from the sun and prepare its own food. So plants are called as producers or autotrophs. They are autotrophs since they prepare their own food. They prepare their own food. Especially green plants prepare their own food by using these all, that is the water, mineral salts from the soil, carbon dioxide from the air and light from the sun. Green plants prepare their own food. So they are called as autotrophs and they are eaten by the herbivores, that is the primary consumers. The primary consumers like grasshopper, cow, buffalo, goat, sheep, which depends on only the plant and plant foods. Okay children, so this is how the plants give food to the herbivores. That is, this give food means that they prepare their own food and this food is used up by the consumers. Okay children, so here the primary consumers depend on the producers to get their energy. So the main energy is the solar energy that is used up by the plants to prepare the food. From here the energy is transferred to the primary consumers. Later the primary consumers form the food for secondary consumers, where the secondary consumers eat the primary consumers. Okay, and where the primary consumers are the consumers that they depend on plants and plant food only, whereas the secondary consumer depend on either the primary consumers or also the secondary consumers at times, or producers at times. Secondary consumers depend on primary consumers and also the producers also. So they mainly depend on the primary consumers for their food. Okay, so here the energy level transfer is being reduced when it moves to the next form. Okay, so here the main energy is sun. Some of the main energy is used up by the plants, and from the plants some of the energy is being used by the primary consumers. From the primary consumers the energy is transferred, some of the energy is transferred to the secondary consumers. From the secondary consumers, so you know that the tertiary consumers, here it is crow, this is frog. Crow also means a decomposer and also the natural, it's a natural scavenger too, isn't it? It depends upon dead and decayed organic matter also, and also depends upon secondary consumers for food, insects and so on, so smaller animals. So these depend on secondary consumers also here. And next, the secondary tertiary consumers, they depend on secondary consumers. And the secondary and tertiary consumers are decomposed by the decomposers. This is mushroom. You know it. Mushrooms are saprophytes. They belong to fungi family where they depend on dead and decayed organic matter for their food. That is, these mushrooms, they depend on the dead plants and animals too. Is it clear? So these decompose these all organisms, living matter, and form the nutrients to the soil, written in the form of nutrients to the soil. They use up the organic matter and return as nutrients to the soil, that which is utilized by the plants again, and with this energy flow continues. Is it clear, children? So here, completely again I will revise you. Solar energy is the main energy that is transferred first to the plants. Plants use the solar energy to prepare the food, and the plants prepare their own food, and this energy that is used up by the plants is transferred to other consumers like primary, secondary and tertiary consumers, and later decomposers too, and again the decomposers return the energy that is used, this energy, and written in the form of nutrients to the soil, which is again used up by the plants. Okay, children, so this is the flow of energy in the form of chain, that is called as food chain. Okay, so see here the questions given in your textbook. Hope by seeing the diagram here on the board, you can easily answer these questions. The question number 1, children. What is the source of energy in a food chain? What is the source of energy in this food chain, children? The main source of energy is sun, isn't it? Sun is the source of energy. Main source of energy. The main source of energy in a food chain is sun. Okay, next. How does the grasshopper gets its energy? So here the grasshopper gets its energy by taking food from the plants, that is grass or so, green leaves and all. So here the main food of a grasshopper is plant food, that is producers. So grasshopper gets its food from the grass, means it is grass is a producer. So it gets energy from the producers. Is it clear? So grasshopper gets its energy from producers. That is the answer for that question. Next, what happens to the crow if the frog was removed from this food chain? So here, if the frog is removed from here, so any change will take place in the food chain, ma? Can you guess? You know that crow is an omnivore also. Is it clear? It depends both on grains and also animal food. That is, it's an omnivore. So, whether it can survive or not? Yes, it can survive because it is a natural scavenger. It depends on dead and decayed organic matter too. So, it can survive without, in the absence of frog also, as it is an omnivore. It can also depend on plant foods like grains and also dead and decayed organisms, which it can use up. So dead and decayed organisms, the plants and animals which are dead, they all use up this material also, and so it probably are not available in the food chain also. With other animals which are the secondary consumers, they also depend on them. So the crow can depend without the frog in the food chain also. Okay, so that is the answer for that question. Yes. Next question is, what is the role of mushroom in a given picture? Role of mushrooms. So what is the role of mushroom? Mushroom acts as a decomposer because it decomposes the organic matter, both the plant and animal matter or the food matter that we, fruits and vegetable peels, everything that we discard and food material that we discard, these all being decomposed by the decomposers by eating them and returning them to the soil in the form of nutrients. That is the role of mushrooms in the food chain. They supply nutrients. They supply nutrients and take nutrients. They supply nutrients to the soil and take nutrients from the food chain itself. So they are that take nutrients means they depend on dead and decayed organic matter. When these living organisms are dead, the decomposers depend on them, dead organisms for their food. So they depend on the living organisms and return them in the form of nutrients to the soil. Is it clear? So bacteria and fungi such as mushrooms get energy by the breakdown of dead plants and animals. By the breakdown of dead plants and animals. Mostly the fungi, the mushrooms which belongs to the fungi group, they get energy from the breakdown of the dead plants and animals. They are called as decomposers. They are called as decomposers. They decompose the organic matter. They break down the dead organic matter, whether it is plants or animals when they are dead. Okay, so they break down the organic matter into smaller molecules and complex substances are converted into simple substances that goes into the soil and are used up by the plants. So these complex substances are eaten up and the remaining material is supplied to the soil and which is used up by the plants again. So the nutrients that are present in the soil along with the water, the plants absorb through the roots and they are supplied to the plant in the preparation of food, which is called as photosynthesis. So plants use these nutrients in the process of photosynthesis, and thus they help in cycling of materials between the producers, consumers and soil. So decomposers, what do? They help in cycling. So they help in cycling of nutrients, cycling of materials or the nutrients between the producers, consumers and the soil. Okay. So these are the roots, this is soil and the nutrients are present in the soil which are supplied by the decomposers in the soil, which is absorbed by the roots through the present in the soil. So it is a cycling process which continues. So they are called as recyclers. So decomposers are also called as recyclers. What are they called as? Recyclers, children. Hope you have understood it. So decomposers are also called as recyclers. Okay, children. So here you know about the food chain. Now we will move to the food web. Several food chains form a food web. So you know that a single organism is eaten by many organisms and many organisms may depend on a single organism too. Is it clear? So that is about the food web. Now we will see about the food web. Note down this picture. So see here children, the food chain is being developed now. So some of the FAOs like mouse, here I have shown the picture of the mouse. So here the plant products like grains are eaten by mouse and the mouse is eaten by owl. Okay, and the owl is eaten by wild cat, which is a tertiary consumer again. Here again the tertiary consumers like snakes eats this, crows and kites and some other birds also, isn't it? And the snakes also eat secondary consumers like frogs and primary consumers like grasshoppers too. And so this becomes grasshopper becomes food for crows and so this chains, multi-chains, that is several chains or food chains are formed. So grains are eaten by rats, rat is eaten by owl, again rat is eaten by snake also, isn't it? Rat is eaten by snake. And snakes are eaten, the cats are eaten by fox, fox is eaten by lion, and lions eat all the other secondary consumers also, lion, tigers also. So like that several animals eat a single animal and single animal is eaten by several animals too. So in this process several food chains are formed. Food chains cannot always be represented in a straight line like this. Is it clear? It cannot be always be represented in a straight line. They can be branched. Here the branches, several branches like this. This is eaten by this, again this is eaten by like owl, and this is eaten by snakes, and this is eaten by owl. So like this several food chains are being found. So they can be branched with several food chains connected to each other to form a web. So it forms a web. Several food chains form a web. So from this we can understand that food chain may not be in a single straight line. It can also form a web. Is it clear, children? See here carefully. Food chain can also form a web. Once again I repeat. Hope you can see the pictures completely over here. Okay children, so this forms a web. Solar energy taken by the producers, from there it can be taken by the herbivores, and from herbivores like secondary consumers like frogs, that is the owls and all. They are eaten by tertiary consumers like wild cats, lion, tiger, etc. Okay, so and snakes also are the tertiary consumers. So they are being eaten by them. So from this arrangement we can see that the food chain not only forms a straight line, that is it will not be in a straight line always. It forms a web. Several food chains form a web. Is it clear? So that is about the food chain. This system of interconnected food chain is called food web. This is there is interconnection between the several organisms here. So this is called the food web. All the organisms again are decomposed by the decomposers called as the bacteria and fungi when they are dead. So there are several food chains are formed like this. So this is the way the decomposers recycle all the organisms and send to the soil and again used up by the plants and the cycle continues. So this is called as food web. Is it clear children? What is food web? Food web is interconnection between several organisms of food chain. Okay, so this is several food chains. For in the simple words we can say that several food chains form a food web. Is it clear? So that is about the food web. Now we'll deal with the animal colonies, which is the last topic of the lesson. Animal colonies. Note down this, later we'll proceed. Okay children, now the topic is about animal colonies. There are certain animals which form colonies. Colonies means a group of animals work together to get their food. Okay, a group of animals work together to get their food. Mostly like small ants, especially the ants, you will be seeing that they will be moving in a group, isn't it? They will be moving in a group in search of the food. So they form colonies. They are divided into groups and you can see the division of labor in them, where they divide their work to get their food. That is mainly ants, from tiny ants to huge elephants. They form the colonies to get their food. Okay, zebra, you can see zebra also they form colonies, and mostly if you see the ants, elephants, giraffe, sometimes giraffe also they form the colonies. So you can see them moving in a group, in a form of herd to get the food. If you see the ants, mostly children, they are divided into 4 groups, namely worker ants, queen ants, male and female ants. So their work is differentiated. They divide the work among themselves to get the food and reproduce the next generation too. So they are being divided like this. See here, children. So ants do a lot of work. Their colony has a large ant forces to do work. They are mainly workers, soldiers, male and female ants, male ants and female ants. Once again I repeat, ants do a lot of work. Okay, so they are divided into 4 groups. Large ant forces. They have the ant forces like worker force, soldier force, and the male and female ants. The workers collect and maintain food stock for the others in the colony along with several other duties. So here what is the duty of workers here, ma? What is the duty of workers? Workers collect and maintain food stock. What do? They collect and maintain food stock. Collect and maintain food stock. Note down in your notes, very important. This is about the ant worker, that is animal colonies. There are animal colonies are formed by ants, tiny ants to huge elephants. Okay, so in ants colony especially, they are divided into several forces for doing their work. They are workers, soldiers, male ants, female ants. Workers, what do? They collect and maintain food stock for the remaining colonies, that is soldiers, male ants and all. Okay, and next, just as we keep cows for milk, ants also keep a type of insect called aphids for honeydew. Okay, so we will be that is domesticating cows for getting milk, isn't it? So ants normally depend upon their food is honeydew. So for this, they keep a type of insect called aphids. They get it from the aphids. Okay, keep a type of fungus. It's a type of fungus, belongs to fungus. Okay, they keep aphids, a type of fungus for what? For honeydew. What? Ants keep a type of fungus called aphids for honeydew, just like we keep the cows for getting milk. Okay, so that is about the ants. Like us, ants are good farmers as well. They cut leaves into pieces and create a bed to grow a type of fungus which they eat. See here, children, you can see the picture.